Getting lots of voicemails is one of the daily scenarios we can experience in our job. It's not totally a challenge, but somehow affects us while we are taking calls. Here are some of the tips and best practices shared by our company leaders on how to handle this kind of calls. Tip number 1: do something that will lighten your mood instead of focusing on voicemails. You can have a cup of coffee, a cold drink, or a side of your crush instead of getting into those voicemails that will only stress you out. Those voicemails can help you distress in a way. Tip number 2: we can control those things on our daily basis. As an agent, I dispose those voicemails right away and make myself productive, reviewing scripts and rebuttals for useful scenarios and also unusual scenarios. Another thing is searching and reading about the product to gain more knowledge and idea. Tip number 3: a day full of voicemail could trigger boredom. Divert your attention to other things that will keep you moving but will not cause too much distraction. That way, your focus will no longer be on the ugly leads and you can stay positive the whole shift while enjoying what you are doing. For example, for coffee lovers like me, what I do is I sip my brewed coffee every time I get a voicemail. It helps me forget the thought that there are so many voicemails and it helps me focus on getting a transfer. Tip number 4: answering machines has been an ally and a foe at the same time. What we do is we filter the leads and look for potential customers, be that as it may. Being exposed to multiple answering machines a day can help us compose ourselves so we are more ready when a live call comes in. It can likewise be a refresher after a long call. When I was taking calls, I'll make sure to familiarize different voicemes I may deal with to be more efficient in disposing calls. It can also be one of the ways that we can be more familiar to different accents since we are hearing different types of voices the whole 8-hour shift. I essentially utilize voicemails as a tool for development since I'm exposed to it consistently. Tip number 5: always know that it's way beyond your control, and it doesn't make it any easier if you let it get into your head. So chill. Tip number 6: always remember that it's normal. It's normal for us to receive voicemails. Maybe one of the reasons why most agents rant is because they are always expecting to receive good leads. If we accept the fact that getting lots of voicemails is normal, we can avoid adversities. Always do your best regardless of the situation. Put more focus to the live calls that you are receiving. Make sure to give your 110% effort to your customers, which includes the information, purpose, and awareness of the call. Getting at least 1% of their interest is enough, and that could make our transfer or convert increase its quality. One last thing: every time you come to the office, always smile and be happy even if it's hard. That's the deal. Let's just be happy and we can have a great day. Tip number 7: I honestly don't want to talk about voicemails. Why? Simply because they're not potential customers. And talking about those voicemails won't increase your productivity. What I do is I take advantage of those voicemails so I can do other tasks. Voicemails has always been a part of taking calls. But should we talk about them? We always say that we should only focus on potential customers. Focus on the things that will give you results. Tip number 8: first is to be thankful that you still have a job. And if all the people on the lead list will answer the phone, then I will no longer have my job as a screen. Also, if it's for sales campaign, then that requires deals or appointment. Getting lots of voicemails is a good opportunity to review my script, evaluate my unsuccessful calls, and take time to breathe in and out and be ready for the next call. Excessive voicemails doesn't mean that you will not be productive. It's just a matter of additional challenge to attain your goals. For example, if you get 100 calls and only 10 of them will answer, with that 10% chance of getting a result, you can expect at least 1 out of 10. So make sure to conserve your energy to that one sale that you will get from those 100 calls. So thank you voicemail because I was able to conserve my energy and give my 100% on that one result. Tip number 9. It is not at all surprising to have a day filled with voicemails. So I typically think of some things to make my day productive. I read articles online about how to increase my sales effectiveness or anything else that can broaden my product knowledge for that campaign. I also listened to some recordings my superiors sent me and tried my best to mimic how they deliver their accents, rebuttals, and their tone over the phone until I almost sounded like them. Tip number 10. You can't get out of the office without experiencing voicemails. As a sales representative, there are only minimal issues. But the question is, how do you deal with lots of voicemails? It's really easy to say, stop focusing on those voicemails. But as a sales representative, I consider this thing as a fuel to gas up my mood and be ready with the live call. Of course, it allows me to review my script, save my energy, and compose myself when live call kicks in. And by that, I know and for sure, I can definitely turn around even uninterested customer. I often remind myself that without these voicemails, I wouldn't be here. Our job is to filter those leads and get at least 2 sales a week. If only voicemails are living humans, I would definitely thank them for giving me this kind of job. We hope that you learned something today. If you have suggestions about any topics you want to discuss, put it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.